All Alrighty, we should be rolling. Tommy, are you good, bro? Okay, well,
Fine.
what a great way to start off this episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Thomas James Donahoe & Co. podcast. I'm Vivek Gupta, sitting alongside Artie Rose and Thomas James Donahoe. But wait, there's more, because today we have a very, very special guest with us today. He's our friend and yours. It's the man himself, Will Blankemeyer. Welcome to the show, Will. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm honored to be on. I've heard a lot of great things about this podcast. I watched the first couple ones and they're absolute bangers. So
Yeah, thanks, man.
just having a good day.
Yeah, great. Tommy, you good, bro?
Tommy's like that was exciting. That was exciting and fast paced, and I love it.
The intro.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about, everyone's probably heard about it, but what happened with Reddit in the stock market, and our thoughts, our views, what matters to us. Let's start with Will. Will, what did you think when you heard about that, or if you'd like to explain it to us?
Okay. So as I understand it, it's mainly about how some Redditors on Wall Street Bets noticed that Melvin Capital hedge fund was severely shorting GameStop. So in doing so, they expected it to fail. But the Redditors noticed that if they were to all buy GameStop and hike up the price, then Melvin Capital would have to buy back the shares that they'd been loaned out to them, basically. So then they'd have to buy it at a much higher price and then take a big loss. So it went up to like $400 or whatever, and then the hedge fund ended up losing billions. But then afterwards, some of the Redditors who were still like on that kind of hype train sold late, so they ended up taking huge losses as well. And then now people are talking about if they want to continue to do this thing for more hedge funds, or like what the implications of it are.
Well, didn't they sell it late because the hedge funds stopped the trade of the GameStop, and I think it was AMC as well?
Yeah, I know like Robinhood like stopped trading because it was like too risky for them or something.
Yeah.
I know a lot of journalists and like news people are like, this is the most, BS story that we have to worry about right now. So I don't know.
I mean, everybody's stuck at home.
Like we don't have anything better to do.
It's an easy thing to do when you're stuck at home. So
yeah. You mean investor
yeah, it's pretty easy. Just all those apps that you can use.
Well, yeah, thanks to technology now, it's easier. It gets easier and easier to do everything, including record a podcast, which we're doing from the comforts of our own home. Which is what a great segue. I'm getting really good at segues. If you guys haven't noticed over the past couple recordings. Anyways, who's next to share their thoughts on the stock market? Or do you want to go? Oh, sorry, Tommy. Go ahead.
I wonder if maybe. One guy, he makes over $20 million on this. It's almost like, you think it was just his idea? Like one guy was just like, screw it. I'm going to make $20 million in a month. Or really more like a day. He just makes like 3 different alt accounts on Reddit, posts them all on Wall Street Bets. And then they just all like shorted it. And I mean, it got everywhere. The like to the moon comments was all over the place. It's almost like I feel like it was just one guy who was like, I just want to make a bunch of money, and it's not like he did bad by it, but that's just what I think.
He's just taking advantage of the system, also showing people.
I mean, like again, with technology, that's easier to do nowadays, right? So,
I mean, without technology, I don't think this stocks really existed.
Oh.
You could buy like bonds and stuff. You could they had stocks, but they just weren't as easily like you couldn't like
you couldn't just easily create a stock or
you couldn't like buy one from anywhere in America.
Yeah.
You could go through channels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think that the technology then has been detrimental to this economy, or do you think that it's possible that
through stocks, I would say it's definitely helped some people, but it has been detrimental to a lot of people. But then again, technology is also used for many other things. So it's a positive, negative kind of thing. It's not really more leading towards one way than the other, you know?
Now, Will, I know you're an avid Redditor. Would you
Yeah,
like to
you know,
make a comment on Reddit itself and its role it plays?
um, I think Reddit is very much a people-centric community. Like, there's really not a lot of bars to get in, and it's really anonymous. So I think
Wait, by
a lot
community,
of
do you mean
people,
like the platform in general, or like what do you mean by community?
yeah, just like as a social network, I guess.
Got it. Okay.
But I think a lot of people see Reddit is just even more than places like Twitter, just like because of the anonymity. Especially you can just hop on and people feel like they're part of a group, especially in this case, against like for the common good, like against these like big hedge funds and things. So I think it empowers people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you mean by that.
And it's so interesting because you don't see that a lot in other social medias like Facebook and Twitter. Well, Twitter's more.
With stuff like that, it's always about like showing off what you have and like how lavishly you live and like all the cool
But
things
like
that you do in your life. But I guess with Reddit, it's
Yeah.
like
Reddit's
people,
about just communities,
and
different
connecting with people.
groups.
I'm not,
So
I don't use Reddit at all. I don't think I've ever, been
I
on a
don't
Reddit.
really use it either. So
Yeah, so I'm out of my
I
league
think
on this one. That's why I'm just like,
well, and let's move on to our next topic. The release of famed rapper Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby
It's crazy
Shmurda.
because he went 7 years in jail and no one really forgot about him. Like, I I don't even listen to that much of his stuff, and I knew about him from at least, a year after he got in prison. I don't think when I was in 2014, I was like 11. I don't think I knew about Bobby Shmurda then, but what do you guys think about his release and what it says for our community as well as the music community?
it's just another rapper. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's just another rapper.
You know, like kind of like you, Tommy. I haven't, listened to very much of his music, but um, I guess like it's for those who like him, it's nice that he's out and he can finally start, producing music. I'm reading right here, and he's gonna be under parole until February 23rd, 2026. That's
Wow.
5 years from now. That's crazy. Will, what do you
I
think?
think,
You wanna? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tommy.
or Will, yes, Will.
Will, what do you think
The
about
speaker.
Bobby Shmurda's release?
I tell you, I don't know anything about Bobby Shmurda. But I just really don't know what to say.
Hmm. It is
Apparently,
interesting coming back into a music scene like that after 7 or 8 years. He's going to be so far behind. I mean, I'm sure he was exposed to that kind of music, but I wonder if it's not going to be difficult for him to continue making music in a scenario where he wasn't able to adapt and grow like other musicians were to the current era. Whereas if you release the same song, like if like Riptide, that was a great song when it came out. But then if you release it now, who's to say whether it would have done well or not? These
which song?
songs, Riptide, I
Give
can't
us a
think of
verse, Tommy. Give us a verse.
it's like, baby, I'm gonna to I wanna be your right hand man.
Okay, yeah, I know that one. I
Yeah,
know that one.
yeah. It's classic. It's a classic song.
That was the most. That song was. That wasn't the most overplayed song. That was a very overplayed song, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but it was good though. And
It
when
was
it comes
catchy,
to
yeah. Like
I'm dancing to it. I mean, I can't lie about that.
I since I do this in like every single recording we've ever done, where like I just like randomly pull something up, and like last week it was, or last time it was Groundhog Day. Like the time before that it was, Trader Joe's. But you guys want to hear what I think the most overplayed song of all time is?
Hmm.
What the
"Ain't
one
It
song we
Fun"
talked
by
about?
Paramore. Either that or what's it called? Want to
Driver's
Want Me
License?
by Jason Derulo. That song was really overplayed.
I don't even know either of those songs.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I
don't?
don't.
I'm surprised that you guys
Me
I
haven't.
mean,
neither.
They
we've
were like,
probably heard it, but I don't
it's been a
recognize the
while,
name.
but just like my like hatred and annoyance towards this song is like so big that I can't forget it.
Oh man.
Like
You know,
they're okay the first time you hear them, but if you hear them like 6 times a day, like they were playing them on the radio back in that summer, you'd be like me.
Will, you
I
got any overplayed songs you can think of that you don't like very much?
I don't listen to a lot of current music, so I really can't say. Like, I just don't expose myself to it enough, so I
I
wouldn't
mean,
really
well,
know.
I assume you probably listen to like old music radio sometimes,
Um,
maybe.
I just like I'll have this thing where find a band or something I really like, and then I'll just go on like this long week adventure into listening all their songs, and then like in my Spotify, once I'm listening to so much of them, it'll like give me one song of another band, and I'll like them. Cycle continues, but I don't really like.
So you don't have like
It's
a
not a
specific
thing.
genre or artist that you gravitate towards?
No,
Yeah.
I mean
would-
it's kind of like I'll usually like things from like rock or grunge or something, but there's a lot of songs that definitely don't fit that category that I'll just listen to.
Artie, what about you? Do you want to go ahead and let us know what
I
you
would
think the
say
most overplayed song is?
I listen to like 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s music a lot.
Which
I
is
also
you'd
listen
know
to a lot
that.
of grunge.
Hold on. You'd know that if you listen to episode 1. Oh, hey, you see that? You see that? Go listen to
Like in
episode
any
1,
other
please.
episodes.
We'd really
Well,
appreciate it.
just
Anyways, go
listening
ahead.
to like older radio and stuff. Like there's also just the overplayed songs. Like I used to listen to 80s a lot. Now I don't listen to it as much just because I've pretty much listened to all like the popular songs and they're just overplayed, especially like Africa and other stuff like that. It's just overplayed way too much and it just drives me insane.
think, honestly, I think that out of all the songs, the one that I think is the most overplayed, just to me, is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good song though.
I didn't say
Yeah,
Not
it's
if
a
you
good
listen
song.
to it
It's like,
every day from the
Well,
radio.
but they just play it so often, and it's a good song. It's never been like annoying to me, but like song that just played the most and honestly too much. And the thing also about it is it's like 7 minutes. I think it's like 6 or 7 minutes, and so you could fit two other songs in that same
I bet
period of
you
time. So I feel like it makes it seem like you're listening to it more often than you actually do.
I bet
But
you
out of
like
all the songs-
50%.
That song is like
of-
every single genre of music ever compiled into one.
and they it's just good. Queen is a good band, but
No,
they're
yeah,
really
100%.
really good. I mean, just
Yeah.
almost to an extent where it's like okay. But
I bet you like 50% of the population knows the entire lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Because it's a lot of instrumental stuff, you know what I mean? And like it's a lot of
Yeah.
short phrases and stuff.
okay, I got a question. For
Let's hear it,
for all
Tommy.
of you. Who do you think the best person was? Just like the best person.
In like the best person in
Ever.
Yeah, the best person.
How about you go first since you proposed
You,
such
Tommy.
a question?
Got someone in
Best
mind.
person. Well, I looked online to see what other people said. I thought Jesus was a really safe answer. I don't know if he's the best person. I think that. I mean, it depends on how you define person, but like,
Are we talking fictional
don't
characters
know.
too?
Yeah, are we talking fictional? Or are we
Never
talking
mind.
like a real person? Or are we
Never
talking?
mind.
A
No,
real
I was making.
are
a
you
joke.
saying that Jesus is not a real person?
No.
Because-
I'm
we're,
not
we're
saying.
not
'cause if-
gonna. We're just gonna ignore my comment, okay?
No. Like if we're saying somebody fictitious, I'd say somebody like Tony Stark or, you know,
You think Tony Stark is the best person in the Marvel universe?
not in the Marvel universe. I'm just saying like if we're talking
I was gonna
best
say, have you
people
seen
in
Civil War?
general, it'd be Tony Stark because like spoiler alert, he sacrificed himself to save the world, but he
And?
obviously didn't exist.
also
So I'd go
sold
for
weapons
someone
that were
else.
killing a
I'd
bunch
choose
of
someone else, and I'd say somebody else.
Okay. So I had a really well thought out answer. Honestly, I mean, who I think I mean, you could call me basic, but I think MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., his like whole deal there was really it took a lot of courage, I think. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that not a lot of people would be able to
Mhm.
do is just do like put himself out there and like it was crazy. Like the FBI was like telling him to kill himself and all that stuff like that.
Mhm.
It was just wild. And I think he was one of the best people.
Will,
So
would you like to share with us who you think the best person of all time is?
Um, for a safe choice, I think I'd also have to go with MLK, but I'll say who I'll say that I have a very US centric view of it.
Mm.
Just like living in US, we see a lot of like some of our presidents is, in a much better light than if we were in a foreign country. Or like even some of our just people throughout history in the US, we tend to not know so much about other popular leaders in other countries. But yeah, I also have to say probably not a lot of presidents or things like that. But I would go with I'm okay with for this one. At least one of the best.
Yeah. Artie, you?
I mean, MLK is a good answer, but honestly, there's no best person. Everybody's
No,
got
yeah.
flaws.
Everybody has.
Everybody's got big
that's not the way.
flaws.
You cannot do
Not
that.
an answer.
I'm
It's
just
not who's
saying.
the perfect
No,
person. Who's
MLK,
the best.
MLK is a
Best?
good person.
I
We
mean,
can all
like
agree.
Will said, we live in America, all of us, and we get American views of everything, which is a lot different than everywhere else,
People
which is
tune in
really
for our
bad.
global views or our views that are like from Iceland or something. They tune in for our American views. No one's listening to this for like
And we got
of
somebody listening from the
who
Yeah, I
Philippines.
mean, apparently somebody from the Philippines is listening to this.
Yeah, so if you're from the Philippines and you'd like to send in a message, we'd love to hear it.
At
We need
TJD
to
and Copod on Instagram.
please do, honestly. But this is like, what do you honestly think? It's not like it's not like your thought is who actually is. It's just what do you think?
No, like if we're talking about like one of the best people of all time, obviously we can all agree, Martin Luther King Jr.
I mean, yeah,
But then I
can't
mean, he
think of
cheated
anything
on his
else.
wife. That was kind of whack. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, there was
I mean,
what's his name?
like Artie said,
Dr.
nobody is the
Seuss cheated on his wife.
Well, yeah. Dr. Seuss was apparently also racist. So like, no, but like Artie was saying, we're not
Yeah.
perfect people, right? Like we
everyone.
all have our
He joined
flaws.
the army during the time where America had a lot of propaganda against Asians, so that was also an influence for that. But I mean,
Literally, like if you look at any historical figure, they were probably racist. I mean, like every single time you
I
look at
mean,
history, they'll say like it, it's just wild.
Yeah,
You
he's
know
got.
what was funny? I was reading that the guy Colonel Sanders who made KFC when he
mhm.
went into a KFC like after it become a chain, he got so mad because the chicken was like not good that he like threw a fit. Like he threw things around the restaurant. Like he was like enraged at the quality of the chicken. I think that was kind of funny. Like imagine that.
Yeah. Well, we
And
all are not perfect people. Tommy,
Nobody's
let's wrap
perfect.
up today's episode by me asking you kind of a loaded question. If you had to choose one person that you've said has had a big influence on your life that isn't family, who would it be?
Um, I think I don't know. So my life's weird in the people who are in my life, but um, he'd probably be like a TV character. Like I haven't had a lot of influences. I never had like a hero growing up or like a person who I really liked or thought was interesting. I will say that you should go to a different person.
Yeah, how about we go to Will real quick? Will, give it to me. Do you have anybody specific or do you want me to go to Artie?
I can't give anyone specific, but I'll say that it would probably just be like some like close friends I've had over the years.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
necessarily just because they've like I mean, yeah, they've like influenced my views on things, but more than that, it's just like, you need people to help you get through tough times, and it's like without them, then
Mhm.
you just need to socialize with people and have some alternate views and just people there to support you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Artie, do you want to go ahead?
I can't think of an exact specific person, but I would say some bands probably inspired me a lot.
Mm.
Like Electric Lights Orchestra in Chicago, if you know those two bands.
Mm.
They were pretty popular back then. They're pretty good. Um, can't really think of a person, but that's probably the closest thing I could think of.
Kind of like Will said, if we aren't, if I do have like one specific person, but obviously, like my friends, they've meant, a lot to me. And like, I guess the whole point of this show is also for us to like share our opinions and our thoughts and like basically, give people a different light. And with adding people like Will and hopefully more people in the future, it just increases that. But if I had to answer my own question and choose one specific person who isn't a family member who's inspired me, I'd pick LeBron. 100% LeBron. Tommy, you thought of anything yet? You want to go ahead?
Um, so it's difficult. I think I met this kid like we had this like summer camp thing together, and I met this kid, and he was pretty big influence on me. Like after the summer camp was over, just some of the things he said, I really appreciated talking to him. So I guess
Mm.
it'd have to be him. Just like I think no one ever really influenced me because I didn't really ever like feel like I was similar to most people on TV. So it was hard for me to really relate. I liked like anime and stuff like that, like Itachi from Naruto. His character was just so good in that like I won't spoil it for
Yeah, I
anyone
definitely
watching.
understand that reference.
So good, so good, and the morals or values or whatever. But I do think that you just have to find someone who you identify with, or at least identify with who you want to be. Like if that person is who you want to be, then I think that's enough of an inspiration.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Kanye,
Yeah.
Kanye West,
Oh, 100%.
Kanye
Yeah,
West.
might actually make him the best person.
I was
Go back
thinking
to that
about it, but
discussion.
he got divorced, and I think divorce is a sin.
Poor man.
So
Yeah.
I can't.
That's confusing. They're divorced. The Kim Kardashian Kanye West divorce.
There was the
I really don't understand.
We should
I
really
wish I
dedicate.
could-
We've
cheating
brought up
meme.
Kanye in like almost every single recording we've done so far. Even like I dropped a lyric in the first episode, so like maybe we need to dedicate a future episode just to Kanye West.
Oh my.
Get Kanye West on the show.
We should,
No.
yeah. Let's
It'd be ridiculous. It'd be crazy.
let's tweet at Kanye West to please come on the Thomas James
It's
Donahoe
actually
and
at
Co
just
podcast.
it's at Yay. It's at Yay. Don't
Huh?
don't get it all twisted. It's just at Yay. Isn't it at Yay? Or is
Is
that a
Yay?
meme monkey?
I don't
I think
know.
it's at Yay.
or is it like is it?
You want me to look
Yeezus?
it up?
Yeah, let's look it up.
Is it at Yeezus?
It might be. Hold on. Let's take a look
I
on
don't think it's
Instagram.
at,
Yeah, it's
well, I
just
don't know
Y
that.
E, and he
Yeah,
follows.
at Yay.
He's got 4.7 million Instagram followers, and he's following only one person.
Who is it?
Usually-
It's
Yeah,
Kim
Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian.
No.
His most.
Just
wait.
wait till the day he unfollows her once they actually get a divorce.
Oh my god! Yeah. Can you imagine? Who is he gonna follow then? Well, he's
Money
posted.
going down.
You
The
follow
last
us,
time he-
the TJD and Co podcast.
The last time he posted was on November 3rd, 2020. It's a picture of him in a blue hoodie and a black face mask. And he wrote, "Today I voted for the first time in my life for the president of the United States. And it's for someone I truly trust. Me, American flag." Dumb. Oh my god. Imagine flexing that you actually voted for yourself only to lose that badly and with so many followers. Can you imagine how oh
no
my
one
god.
likes him. Well, we have to end it now, don't we?
We do have to end it now. Well, we thank you all for listening to this episode of the Thomas James Donahoe and Co podcast. We'd like to convey our sincere thanks to the man himself, Will Blankemeyer, for being here. Will, we thank you. We appreciate you. And we hope that you come back at some point. To all of you listening out there, we hope you are staying safe, taking care of yourself and your loved ones. We hope you are social distancing, wearing your mask and hand sanitizing at all times. And we wish you all the best. So, for Artie Rose and Thomas James Donahoe, I'm Vivek Gupta signing off for now. Thank you and take care.